speaking of photos, you actually have a couple of interesting photos that I've never seen before.
Yeah. So just real quick, I speak highly of Haitian Jack at times, and it people, you know, don't quite understand. I arrested Jack because he had issues with his citizenship. And he was a predicate felon before he ever got his citizenship, even though he really grew up in the United States from a little kid up. And so I took advantage of that, and I rearrested him with the feds, and a U.S. attorney got him out of jail and said, you're paroled to us, basically. And if we need you to do something, you can do it, whatever. The problem is that I think with Jack is he was never going to tell you the truth. Only if it suited him, and he didn't really have much to offer other than to give himself up for his life of crime. I mean, his life was a crime in progress, for crying out loud, you know? So I kind of had like this friendly relationship with him, and I never utilized him as an informant, more like a guy I could have a conversation with about the industry and like, rumor mill and whatever. And Jack told me some really funny stories. He'd say like, hey, you think it's easy robbing drug dealers? He goes, I took a guy once and, we got these guys at gunpoint and I go to get the bag. And all of a sudden the guy, he gets this look on his face like we're not the police kind of look. And everyone sees it and they go to bum rush us. And I'm running with a bag that weighs about 75 pounds. And I got to put it down and fire shots, pick it up again and run, I mean, he's a colorful guy, and he would tell me these stories more about his life and growing up, as a kid from Haiti, basically speaking, a foreign tongue in a really tough neighborhood in Brooklyn. And that's the likable part of Jack, There's Jack who orders jewelry from people like Jacob and other people and then doesn't pay him back, or has Wyclef order jewelry and then steals it. And Wyclef will say, well, I didn't know, I didn't know he was going to do that, get money and favors from different people in the industry. So he was a creative guy. And the fact that he robbed drug dealers I didn't find it all that offensive. And Jack wasn't a killer. He wasn't a murderer or anything like that. So what happens is Jack tells me that he has this place, Crustacean, in Beverly Hills. Now, Crustacean is a high-end restaurant.
Yeah, no, I've been there.
Highly rated restaurant. He would throw these little get-togethers afterwards. And I said, well, invite me to one. So I go to one, and I'm sitting at a table with Aretha Franklin and Stevie Wonder, So and he's got clout, And after we arrested Jack, Jack is with MC Light in a club called Monroe's down in West Hollywood on Melrose. And he has a beef with these guys. And so he escorts MC Light outside. Whoever else was with him comes back in with a gun, and he's chasing these guys around. They're diving under tables, and he's shooting at their legs and stuff. And he shot one or more, I forget. But I get a call from the sheriffs. They go, look, I just got a call asking if I knew who this guy Haitian Jack was because he just shot up Monroe's. He goes, what do you want to do? And he's your guy. He's paroled on your, say so kind of thing. And I was like, oh, shit. I go, well, let's not say anything for a while because if I say anything, he's just going to take off. So a few weeks later, I call him. I go, hey, I'm going to be in L.A. I got something for you. I got your S visa. So figure I get him out. And I told him to come up to the Riot House, the old Hyatt House Hotel on Sunset. And he shows up and we jumped him. And that was the last day he saw the sidewalk in the United States of America. He was in jail ever since then. So he took a plea on the gun and he went back over it. But we had done a search warrant that day and we popped his safe. And he had some really fascinating, pictures, and I'll get them for you. When I looked at all this stuff, I was like, this is a pretty amazing guy. How somebody didn't do a story about him, or 50's got this great company now down in Shreveport. These are the kind of shows that I would watch. I know there's a Murder Inc. show. They ought to do a Haitian Jack show, and there's just that era, man. Is just such a great era of, behind-the-scenes craziness in the music industry that, we'll never see again now that, the digital scene has killed everything, So, but I'm glad I got to be a part of those days. It was like a lot of fun running around out here and messing with all these guys. And, you know, I wouldn't want to be on the other side of the gun that Jack was pointing at. But as far as gangsters go, you know, he's definitely in my top three of interesting guys, creative guys. And people say he was a rat. Jack never gave, there's one thing I asked Jack for, and that was World's telephone number. And I said I wanted to call World on the phone, which I did, and fuck with him. And Jack was all about surviving. He was hanging out with your boy Ori Spotto.
Yeah, I interviewed Ori about that.
Ori's a mess. Is he alive, Ori?
Yeah, he texted me not too long ago.
Was he trying to get you on the show?
No, he was, I think he was pitching some people to be on my show.
Oh. Yeah, Ori's I ended up having, I covered meets with Ori in Midtown Manhattan. He was hooked up with all these guys. They were flying pot from like Canada to upstate New York, bringing the pot to New York, giving it to the Pagans motorcycle gang, who were then, you know, swapping it for precursor drugs to make methamphetamine. It was this crazy story that only Ori Spotto could be involved with. But I became friendly with Michael Frances over the years, and Ori was a part of the downfall of Sonny Frances, in that John, in his addiction, had let Ori in and let Ori use his name and floated his father's name on things that got, you know, an elderly man jammed up, and he never should have been. So I consider Ori to be, you know, kind of evil guy in some ways, in that he seeks out fame and different things regardless of, without thinking about the outcomes and all that. But Jack never slept on his fucking couch. I'll tell you. Do you think the guy who's got President Clinton at Crustacean is sleeping on Ori Spotto's couch?
Well, Bill Courtney, I appreciate you coming in. I really I've been wanting to do this for a while, and I was glad I was able to get a hold of you and do this. A hell of a story, a hell of a life. And listen, at the end of the day, some people like the police, some people don't like the police, but I think everyone agrees that the police are necessary. And I think that if you take the police out of the equation, everyone's life would be a whole lot worse as a whole. And, you know, you've taken a lot of bad people off the street. I think you've saved a lot of lives. I think you've, you know, stopped a lot of violence from happening. I think you stopped a lot of drugs, you know, from circulating. And at the end of the day, you know, I appreciate you coming in and telling your story.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. I'm a big fan of the show, and it's been fun. So thank you.
That's what it is. Until next time. Peace.